Yeah, the biggest misconception I think is when everybody all of a sudden you tell people you're going plant-based or vegan and they become this nutrition expert and they say, where are you going to get your protein? And
Right.
people that truly understand the physiological processes that take place on a cellular level within the body know that A, you don't need as much as you've been led to believe by, clever marketing, food marketing experts, and B, your body actually recycles a good amount of the protein that you do consume. So that's the biggest misconception is that you're going to die of some type of protein deficiency. And I'm still looking for the wing in the hospital with all the protein deficient vegans. Can't find it, but you know what? I can find people that are suffering strokes, heart attacks, high blood pressure, hypertension, cholesterol, cancer, diabetes. Need I go on? They're
Right.
all
Right.
over the
Right.
hospital. I don't see that protein deficient wing yet.
So let me ask you this, like as far as, because I've heard before that you can act like too much protein is bad for you. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, that goes without saying about most things. Too much of anything, is harmful. And especially when you're talking animal proteins, people that consume flesh of animals has what's known as heme iron in it. And your body kind of really doesn't have a filter to absorb that in a sense. I mean, and when I say filter, I mean it will continuously absorb it. It's like it kind of, I guess, lack of a better term, craves it. And
Okay.
when that gets too high, you're setting yourself up for a host of other health problems. I mean, IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor, that skyrockets. That's a precursor for cancer,
Mm.
kidney stones, gallstones, everything. And your body only uses a trace amount and absorbs that. Everything else that's excess is going to have to be excreted via, kidneys and liver kicking in if they're functioning properly.
Right.
And you're going to tax them from constantly trying to excrete excess proteins from the body. And that's how they get overworked. And that leads to other health problems.
Right. That was one my issue about 4 years ago. I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, and mine was due to high blood pressure. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the precursor to a lot of different things.
Yes.
And yeah, but I got to ask you this now, Brother Will. I go to a lot of the vegan fest out here, and I'm in the Los Angeles area. Okay.
Okay.
We got all these vegan cookers. They cooking up all this vegan stuff, right? But I want to ask you, because me personally, I don't really like the meat substitutes, like the soy stuff. I don't personally like that. I'd rather just not eat the meat. Now, when a person is transitioning, do you feel like there's a certain amount of time they need to be on that and then off of it, or how do you gauge that?
I don't really say there's a certain amount of time. I mean, I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm surprised I haven't crossed paths with you in those LA Veg Fest, because I go to a lot of them.
Okay.
Like earlier, I'm here in the Phoenix area, so I know a lot of people in the LA area, and I go to pretty much every Veg Fest as I have a couple businesses that I'm usually there promoting, or either I'm there as a speaker, MC. I wear
Okay.
so many different hats. But anyway, back to your question, I don't really say it's a certain time. I think those things, the mock meats and the soy products that you spoke of, do have their place when it comes to people transitioning, trying to get to a plant-based lifestyle,
Right.
because it's familiar to them.
Mm-hmm.
The textures and the flavors, can be mimicked of what you get from animal flesh. So I do think they serve a purpose. I myself, like I said, I go to some of those fests and I'll grab a burger or something too. But
Right.
I try to keep it about an 80-20 balance where 80% I'm whole food plant based, and I'm a big fruit guy, so I do a lot of smoothies as well as fresh squeezed cold pressed juices with
Mm-hmm.
fruit and vegetable blends. So yeah, I think they do serve a purpose. I don't set a time on them, just and I don't use the term moderation. I just try to say balance more so than moderation, because
Okay.
moderation is so subjective. I think more so
It
than
is.
balance, because if you're going to a dentist, for example, and you say, hey, he said it's going to be a moderate amount of pain, you want it to be minimized as much as possible. However, if you got the burgers or the desserts and you say moderation, then you're going to set that ceiling a lot higher. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
I just say, try to find a good 80-20 balance, where you're doing majority whole food plant-based and, those comfort foods, if you will, are there and they throw the flavor in them and they're pretty good, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Try to
Some
avoid them
of
as
them
much
are
as
pretty
possible.
good. You're right, man. Some of them are pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So right now we got the COVID-19 going on.
Yeah.
I want you to talk a little bit about. You got a lot of people out there that's doing like detoxes and things like that. Speak a little bit about coming off of the detox as far as like eating, diet, and exercise.
You know, and when you speak of detox, are you meaning like
Like a cleanse.
like people say cleanse? And
Yes,
see,
yes.
those are words that I find to be like a slippery slope too. When you're talking cleansing and detox, and
Okay.
again, if your kidneys and liver are functioning normally, they're doing their job and they're constantly cleaning and detoxing, if you will.
Mm,
Um, Personally, like I mentioned, myself being a high fruit smoothie, juice type person, with my clients, I like to use the term reboot in a sense, more so
okay.
like if you think about it in terms of like a laptop or a computer, you get so much information in there, and then it stalls or slows down, and you hit that Control Alt Delete and kind of reboot things,
Right.
and it runs a lot more efficiently. I.e., when you compare it to a human who's either been consuming a standard American diet, high processed foods, whether it's animal flesh or even plant based with a lot of the comfort foods, like we mentioned, and they need to reboot or reset, then you go into that. You called it, use the term detox or cleanse, which is highly used in the industry, but
Hmm.
you need to reboot from what you've
Mm,
been doing because you slowed some things down, kind of give that system a break because, fruits, veggies, and the like, those, especially when you're talking fruits, those things are almost pre-digested. They don't, require hardly any energy to break down, chock full of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, and the like, give your body what it truly needs to thrive on a cellular level.
mm.
And so you kind of give that digestive system a break and it will operate a lot more efficiently. Now, you mentioned coming off of it. When you're coming off of it, don't dive right back into what you're doing prior to
Okay.
getting in on it.
Right.
You're setting yourself up for some major pains and GI issues if you do,
Right. Right.
because you want to kind of ease back into it and find that balance again, But if you're coming off of a, like again, the term detox or cleanse, try to limit the processed stuff as much as possible. Ease back into that. In fact, try to just kind of even keep it consistent with that 80-20 balance I mentioned earlier. And that way you're not like totally going one way or the other. And you just kind of incorporate, the higher processed foods in as you see fit.